Hi, and welcome to Unboxing with Bats, Cats and Broomsticks. Today we're going to be unboxing a Scrawlbox subscription box. This is for the month of October. Sorry it's a bit late, but I've been a bit poorly, so I'm just getting to this now. And we're going to see what we have inside this box. I've been enjoying getting the Scrawlbox subscription boxes so far. They've had a lot of really cool things in them. So when you open up the Scrawlbox, you always see that it's all wrapped up really nice with tissue paper, and it just feels like they take a lot of care into putting things in the box, and it's like a nice treat. And then you get a little sticker for every month. It's different. It usually contains the artist of the month's drawing that they include on the sticker, which is really nice. Then you've got a little challenge. This month's Out of the Lamp. We'll get to that a little bit later. And we have our art supplies. So we've got the Faber-Castell pencil in a 2B. This is the grip pencils that Faber-Castell make. Then we've got just a line pen in 0.3, the Unipin line pens for fine liner. We have Copic markers. These Copic markers, I haven't really used Copic before. Got the colour blue here. They're calling it Aqua BG15. So yeah, like I said, I haven't really used these before. We'll see what they're like. Got Canary Yellow Y02 as well. And we have a red, the R46 Strong Red. And these are the Sketch Copic markers. And last of all, the Faber-Castell. It's a putty rubber. I don't typically use putty rubbers in my drawing, because the ones I've found before have always been really sticky and just make more of a mess than they help rub out, really. And every box includes a little sweet, little boiled sweet. So get this tissue paper out of the way and have a look in the catalogue. Oh, there's also the marker paper as well. I haven't used marker paper before. I always prefer to use Bristol board myself, but that's just a personal preference. We've got the Artist of the Month, which is Alexandra Olivia. I hope that I'm saying that right. It's a really beautiful drawing. I love this kind of art. It is completely out of my personal wheelhouse to just keep going with your drawings like that. I find it so creative. Have a look at this. This is the challenge for this month, Out of the Lamp, which they've described as being, if you had 3 wishes, what would they be? I like to give a go at these prompts, but I'm not too sure if I know how to tackle a challenge of magic and wishful thinking. So inside the catalogue then, we have all of our art supplies again and little notes about them, a little bit about the Artist of the Month and all her other work, which again I think is just absolutely beautiful. So you get to know a little bit about the artist, a little bit about how they work, some tips and tricks as well about using your art markers that you get in this box. Like I said, I haven't really used Copic markers much in the past, though I do have a couple of my own. We've got the Scrawlbox gallery, and last of all, in this end page they have given us a little bit of a note about how to make storyboards for animation. So that's a really interesting read. Moving on from that, I'm just gonna have a go with the art supplies that we've got today on this A5 marker paper. I'm gonna see what it's like to work on and how well these colours work together. I've been told that the Copic markers are an alcohol-based marker, so they will reactivate and blend if you go over them. So I'll just get a page out of the marker sheets. This is so much more thin than I was expecting it to be, so much lighter and thinner. I'm so used to marker papers being really thick so that it doesn't absorb all the way through the paper and mark what's underneath it. I'm surprised with this, as I do these lines and stuff, that the paper's not tearing or coming away, and that it's actually kind of allowing the markers to reactivate without lifting the page. I'll have a go at swatching the yellow out. And then I'm just gonna put down some yellow again so that I can blend it into the other markers as I go through them. We have the blue next. I'm just gonna have a go, see what the nib shapes do and how they make a line, see how it blends, see how they layer as well, just to give me an idea of what I should expect and how they work as a drawing tool. So I'm just going through the blue, and then I'm going to swatch out another patch here so I can blend the blue into some red and see what happens. So we've got red to finish off with. See how it works with, because there's two ends to each one of these markers. You've got a flat end of it like a highlighter, and there's a brush like tip. I find that the brush tips in these markers are really very nice. I haven't come across any pens with a brush tip that works quite the same way. That is very smooth in how it puts its colour down on the page. You could easily mistake the sensation of using these brush tips as a actual brush. So there we have it, like all the swatches swatched out. I just thought I'd have a quick look and see what it's like to work with them. Before I forget, I'm just gonna have a look at the thickness for the fine liner and how that looks. I find that my favourite thickness for a fine liner is 0.5, but for some things it's just too chunky, and the 0.3 looks like it would be just that really nice in between before it gets too thin. I do really enjoy how this goes down on a piece of paper. Add depth and shading to the artwork. Last of all, let's see how the pencil shades out for me. I really liked using this pencil and how it shades out so smoothly. I think that after using this pencil I might have to buy a complete set for myself to work on sketches. I do own a set of sketching pencils, but they are from the Derwent company and not Faber-Castell. But I found that while they have their really nice, rich, dark colours, that they're not as nice as this pencil to use for line art sketches that are quick and rough just to get an idea on the page. They're much nicer for getting a finished black and white pencil drawing done. Whilst this Faber-Castell pencil has a much nicer feeling to it as a quick sketch, putting your idea down on a paper kind of pencil. And the soft grip does make it really nice to hold this pencil. It is a nice shape to use. Now that I've gone through all of that, I'm going to have a think about what it is I want to do as a little drawing, just to demonstrate how I would use a marker and see how these markers measure up to what I'd normally do with a marker pen. Because I'm not a cartoon or a comic artist, I typically draw from life more than any other kind of art, because that's what I like to do the most, is observational art. We're just gonna go with drawing a little apple and see how the markers work when you layer them and use them on top of each other, because other artists have said that these markers are really very nice for layering. And when I was working on this apple project, I found that the blue and yellow made a fabulous green. Adding the red to that made a nice brownish colour, like a muddy colour that gave a good shadow effect. But I found that the yellow didn't blend out the red as much as I would have liked. Maybe if I had more colours to use, then that would have been a lot better. But using just the 3 colours that I had, I decided to do this apple. And then I found my old Copic markers, which are just 2 shades of grey, and these aren't the same as the sketch markers. They are the much cheaper old-fashioned square markers in T4 toner grey and in an N7 neutral grey, just to add a little bit of shadow at the end under the apple and in the sides. But most of this drawing is all done using only the markers and things from the box. I had a lot of fun drawing this, and I hope that I have given you some insight into Copic markers if you've never used them before, like me, and how they are to use as a complete novice to them. They are a little bit of a learning curve that I felt the need to look up a lot of information about them before I could really dive into using them properly. But I hope you enjoyed this video and that you will like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and see you next time.